Hey guys, just wanted to do a quick review of my favorite knife. Most useful knife by far. It's the Ontario RAK Ranger Assault Knife is what it stands for. 1095 high carbon steel, micarta handles. I love this knife. I use it a ton, as you can tell. I mean, this is a wood splitting machine right here. Definitely splits. I mean, full size logs, as long as it fits in here, you know, and you got something just the tip to hit, you're golden. I'm sure it has broke on somebody, but man, I've beat the hell out of this thing, and it's just lasted. I can get a good edge on it, and it holds pretty good, really. You know, it's a fairly big knife. I'm not sure the length. You can look up all the specs, but I mean, that's pretty good size. I think it's like 11 inches maybe total. And it will rust. It rusts fairly easily, really. Just keep something on it. Or just keep it out of the elements, but you should always keep it oil or something on your knife there. I just use gun oil. And I mean, if I'm going backpacking or something and this is what I want to take. It weighs a lot and some people may laugh about that, but I'm telling you, the use for it is just unreal. You know, I'll move the fire around with it. It's big enough for that. Now I will mention that I am going to probably buy the I can't think of it, Ontario something bigger than this. RTAC, I think is what it's called, the RTAC 2, and it's a beast of a knife. It's like a small machete. I'll probably buy that just for camping and stuff. Not that this doesn't do well, but for camping, maybe a little bigger would be nice here and there. This has got good chopping, you know, on it. The handle, you know, I got fairly small hands, and this handle is pretty short, and when I'm really getting on it, hacking, it wants to slip, because I don't hold it like that, you know, I try to hold back as far as I can, and it does try to pry out of my hand, or slide out, but, you know, jumping on the back, you know, you can choke up on the knife pretty good for fine work. I really think for a bushcraft knife, which this really isn't, you know, for that necessarily, but I think it's a great bushcraft knife. I thought about just sanding that flat, because that has no use for me, really. I mean, sure, one day down the road, and no scenario I'm ever going to be in that'll come in handy, but I'd rather just shave that down, not have that poking me. Good knife, takes a good edge. I mean, I'm not going to be able to really show you that, but I do like this knife. This is my favorite knife. Carry it camping. I don't really just take it on day hikes or anything. I should, but I don't. For that, I have my Benchmade Bushcrafter, which to me is just too small for camp use, and for bushcraft, I'd just rather have a bigger knife. I mean, it just works out a lot better, a lot more weight, a lot to swing on this thing not so much. This is a great knife though, but I like it for hiking and stuff, and finer work, but it's just too small for log splitting and stuff like that. I'm not saying I can't handle it, and this thing is more than double the money of that. It's about 3 times the money of that. You can pick this up for about 70 bucks. I've seen them as low as like $56 or something on Amazon. Super sweet knife. Sheath isn't like spectacular or anything. You know, throw your fire steel or something down in here. Here's a pouch. You know, molly webbing. And it is or mine, I've heard that not all of them are, is snaps, you know, buttons, whatever. I've heard some are Velcro. And Velcro, when it gets wet, doesn't work all that well and whatnot. The main problem with this sheath, which you've seen this before if you've ever looked these up, you know, you can hear it rattling around in there, but I've never really noticed it. Typically this is on a pack and not on my side. This is just for big work, basically. Get to camp, start splitting stuff. I mean, if you had a clear trail, it would somewhat work. It would certainly work better than this, depending on how you're using it, but Ontario Ranger Assault Knife, RAK. Super sweet knife. I'm really happy that I bought it. I would never get rid of this knife. I'll always have this. You can tell I've used it. Here's another way to tell too. By that scar. I'll throw up a picture maybe of the fresh wound, but that hit bone. Just trying to bury this in a piece of wood and just being stupid. Not being out of the way. Shit happens. Ontario, made in the USA, Ranger Assault Knife. One of my best buys for knives. Guaranteed. If you know, look into the size and the weight, and if that's what you want, this is a excellent choice for the money. Really good choice for the money, in my opinion. Alright, thanks guys.